Hey guys, welcome back to the Archive experience. I'm Albert Chavez, your real estate agent, and today I wanted to talk to you about a very interesting video that I saw on YouTube. And it brought up a really interesting question. Why do we let fear control our life? We go through our life saying that we want to do all of these things, yet we are still hindered by what we fear and what we cannot control. We go through our life saying that we want to do all these great things and aspirations, and even myself, I let my mind wander off and think things that aren't positively affecting the way that I want to live my life. So how come we let these things control ourselves to the point that we take little action to where we want to be in our life in the future? So in this TED Talk video, the speaker, Tim Ferriss, brings up an interesting point using stoicism and a fear-setting exercise in order to create the way that we want to shape our lives. There's a great quote from Stoic philosopher Seneca the Younger saying, "We go through life more frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." And this is pretty interesting because I know myself, I will let my mind wander into crazy situations that will never even happen. I'm sure that happens to you many a times, where we go down the rabbit hole through our head and say, if I do this, people will make fun of me, or if I do that, maybe people won't like me. But this is just a fear that we create within ourselves. So why are we letting all these judgments that we put on ourselves that people may not even think at all? So when I watched this video, I initially saw the caption saying why we should fear set instead of goal setting. And I thought that was interesting because usually fear, I think of it as a negative connotation that I'm going to shroud and shrink up if I only look at the fearful aspects of life. This is one of the key aspects in Stoicism, where they prioritize only understanding what you can control and what you cannot. And I know myself, I like to be in control of what I want to do, so this is kind of a weird phenomenon to just react and just not submit, but be okay with understanding what you can control and what you cannot. So in the TED Talk video, Tim Ferriss describes one of the values in Stoicism called premeditatio malorum, which translates to premeditation of evils. And in this Stoic idea, they bring out that you should imagine things that will go wrong, can go wrong, similar to what Murphy's Law is. However, it's taking control of the fact that things will go wrong in certain situations. So in the TED Talk video, Tim Ferriss brings up his 3-page fear-setting idea where he describes, what if I do this action that I am so afraid to do? What will happen? What are the scenarios that will be an outcome of this what if factor? So with the Stoic premeditatory malorum, idea is that you are prepared enough to allow for things to go wrong and allow for error, but you'll be so well prepared to fail, to be defeated, that it won't actually bother you. You'll be able to overcome it, whether it's talking in front of a huge audience or making a YouTube video that you procrastinated for like a week, whatever it may be. You just take ownership of it and you accept that things may go wrong, but you are going to take full control by not letting the fear set inside of you. So when talking about premeditatoria malorum, it reminds me of when I was a child. My parents instilled in me that whatever you want, you have to earn. Nothing will be given to you, because if you create that lifestyle of whatever you expect will be expected of you and will be given to you, it creates a sort of entitlement attitude, which my parents instilled in me to try to avoid something like that, where in the real world you will not always get what you want. So now let's jump back to the Tim Ferriss 3-page fear-setting idea. So the goal of his 3-page exercise is to be able to understand that these fears are all in your head and you can get out of your comfort zone in order to improve certain areas of your lifestyle. So on the first page, it's all about what if I ... And here you're going to detail the scenario that you are so fearful that you have to make this list and you can't just act on it just because you want to get something out of it. So for an example, for me, I've been procrastinating on going door to door in order to create virtual tours so I can market people's houses that they have for sale. So I would put, what if I went door to door to help market said person's house in order for them to create a virtual tour so people can view it online. Then we have 3 different columns. On the leftmost column, we're going to have define, the middle will be prevent, and the third one will be repair. So we start off on the left as define, as we're going to define a list of possible situations, negative situations that could occur if I do my what if statements. If I actually went door to door and asked people to go inside their home or create an appointment to go inside their home and create a virtual tour, a certain outcome would be I could completely bomb my speech and forget how to use the English language. Or another result would be, just with the COVID situation right now, I could potentially get sick from COVID. And a third one could be I could get the door slammed in my face immediately. So those could be like three different bullet points in the defined category. And in the video, Tim Ferriss says that you should do about 10 to 20 bullet points so that you really dive into your fears and certain outcomes that you might have in the back of your head and the reason why you're creating all these excuses. And in the middle one, we're going to use prevent. So for the bullet point on the left, in order to prevent it, you could 100% prevent this outcome from happening, or even just marginally prevent a certain aspect of that situation to happen. So for one of my bullet points in define, I could put in order to prevent me from forgetting how to use the English language, I could rehearse repeatedly, either in front of my peers or inside my room, until I make no mistakes and I am 100% comfortable where it becomes second nature. So when I get in front of someone's house, I can speak in a manner that will communicate what I want and how I can benefit them. And in the third column will be repair. So this is going to be repair whatever happens in the define category or column. So if I completely bomb and don't communicate effectively what I want, I would repair this situation by not getting too down on myself and just slowly exiting the home and just giving myself a pep talk saying, hey, that was only one time. Or if I get the door slammed in my face, but hey, there are other doors, these are just strangers, you won't ever see these people again, and this will help harden my shell a little bit, and I will try to do my best the next time forward. And then we go into page 2, where we spend about 10 to 15 minutes asking ourselves, what is the benefit of attempting our what if or achieving a partial success in our what if question? And this is really important so that you can understand the positive sides to you doing something that is way out of your comfort zone. And I love this to the core because I always try to look at the bright side in things instead of just looking at negatively, like how am I going to reap the benefits from going door to door. My communicating skills will be much more effective afterwards because I'll be talking with people I've never met before while bringing value. Like I said earlier, I will harden my shell if people just slam the door in my face, or I could even meet someone that is also in the real estate industry and admires my courage. I could potentially get a mentorship out of it, or we could talk a little bit about the business, the industry that I'm in. It could be financial. I could get a deal out of it in the future. Could physically, it could be a physical aspect, emotional, etc. So just spend about 10 to 15 minutes really diving into what am I going to gain out of this. And then in page 3, what is the cost of inaction? This is definitely the most important page, because if you don't act on your what if statement, what are going to happen? And we're going to label it in terms of 6 months, 12 months, and 3 years in your life. So in 6 months, how are you going to do, or where are you going to be at in 6 months? If you don't do it, where are you going to be at in 12 months, and where are you going to be at in 36 months or 3 years? And this will really put everything in perspective of why you need to act now and why you can't let this fear really set inside of your mind. Because I know it can be intimidating to do something that you aren't comfortable doing, but you have to be able to break out of your shell, because if you just keep doing the same things over and over again, then how are you ever going to grow, or how are you going to get to the point that you want to be at? So this is a really interesting way to go about it instead of just traditional goal setting. It's got the same ideas where you just really dive into each faction of the goal that you want to. It just kind of is the reverse effect of it, of what if I did something that I didn't think I would be able to do? Where would I be at? Where wouldn't I be at? What benefits would I get? So this is like really really motivational for me, because I'm always trying to like look for another tactic that I can gain. One, to get to know myself, and to improve my daily lifestyle. And like I mentioned earlier, Tim Ferriss calls this method the 3-page fear setting method. However, I don't really like this negative aspect to it, because whenever I think of fear setting, I just think that I'm just going to instill a bunch of fears in my head, although that's not the point entirely. So I call it the oof setting, which has like a little funniness, a funny aspect to it, because it sounds like kind of dumb and ridiculous. But when I look at doing an exercise like this, I tell myself, well, if I didn't do this action, I would look back on myself and say, oof, why didn't I do this? I might regret something, not taking that opportunity, all because I told myself that someone might be making fun of me, or I might get the door slammed in my face. Whatever excuse that you have, it would just be a big oof. And I call it oof because it's outsmarting our fears. And that's the goal of this entire exercise, is to outsmart your fears and realize, hey, this is all inside my head. This isn't real. This is just me being more frightened than actually feeling the physical pain, which is what Seneca the Younger was saying, that we just create all these imagination, we create all these scenarios in our head that may or may not even happen, when we can just do it and see what happens, and then we can change our mind later if need be. So I'm going to provide the link below to the video. You can look up TED Talk, Tim Ferriss, or just click the link below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to hearing all of your oof settings and any comments that you may have, and see what results you get when you actually put away your fears and start acting the way that you want to live. Thank you.